running well at the weights, and would have got the perfect run from that gate. But again, it's just that rain.
Here's last year's winner, Mr. Brightside, Zach Purton for the Hayes boys.
Yeah, he's well fancied. Look, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, this horse. He's only run here. He obviously won this race with 50.5 on his back last year, so he's up 5 kilos, deservedly so. Lead-up form's great, perfect draw, maps well, good jockey, lot to like about him.
Yeah, looks terrific in the yard. Like you said, Ronnie, all boxes are ticked so far. He's going to get the ideal run, not too far from the speed. Zacko Purton goes on board, and yes, I thought his win down there at Moonee Valley in the All-Star Mile was great.
My over on number 4, Johnny Allen, Annabelle Neesham.
Yeah, he's a weight for age Group 2 winner at a mile last prep. I just probably needed to see more last time, although last time I was on a heavy track, he won that Waterford Crystal Mile at Moonee Valley, so maybe he is a wet tracker.
Yeah, 1 for 1 on the go, and he's another one that just maps ideal.
Fangirl, number 5, Joe Moreira and Chris Waller.
Well, she was looking the goods for this race all the way through. She's been totally luckless in Anamo's shadow this preparation at weight for age, but awful draw, and now the rain has come. It's not ideal for her. She needs some Moreira magic here.
Yeah, she's going to need a lot of magic from the Magic Man. All the boxes were ticked for mine, although it was a bit tricky from that gate, but now that the rain's come, yeah, you look at a wet weather form on the heavy track. She's had 4 goes and hasn't finished in placing, so yeah, a little bit of a shame that the weather has come.
An American Group 1 winning mare going global, Brenton Abdullah, Chris Waller.
Very interesting runner. She's got proper form and very hard to line up off one soft trial, and all that form in America is left-handed, so I'm just a little up in the air with her.
One soft trial, but when she walked in the yard, Ronnie, she looks rock hard fit. She looks good to go. I thought she tried good, but it's going to get the ideal run, and a little bit of a negative, like you said, it's been going left-handed, but just looking at the horse in the enclosure, I think she could run a blinder.
Converge, Brett Preble, Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott, cleared by the vets.
Yeah, look, I just don't think he'd come up last preparation. He was very flat, but he's returned in fine form. When he kicked away in that rider at weight for age last time, I thought, Anamo's going to have a bit of trouble picking you up. He's peaking third up, dropping 7 kilos, timing's right, patchy wet form, but I'm not underselling him today. I think he's right in this.
Yeah, looks terrific. Nice lightweight. It's going to get the ideal run for Brett Preble, not far from the speed. Yeah, I think this horse will run terrific.
The hugely unknown Duke Decessa, first run in Australia, Maren Eustace, Dylan Gibbons.
Well, he's got 1.5 form, and the marketplace likes him. It's very likeable, his trial win, and he just keeps firming, so I think he commands lots of respect.
Yeah, I think he does too, after looking at him in the enclosure here. First time we've had the opportunity to lay eyes on the horse, but looks great, gets him well with the weights.
Gentleman Roy, Rachel King for Ben and JD Hayes.
Very genuine, tough on-pace miler, always keeps them honest. He'll give a sight.
Yeah, she'll give a great sight. I didn't mind its run down there at Moonee Valley last time out, but probably wasn't run the suit, but gets it here today.
Lions Raw, Craig Newer, John O'Shea.
Yeah, here's a good long shot. Nothing wrong with his rider run. He always lifts dramatically second up. He's a definite place chance.
I reckon he took good improvement out of that run too. He looks like he's really tightened up around the girth. He looks a lot fitter than what he did first up.
Nugget, we're halfway through here. Andrew Gibbons, Kieran Maher, David Eustace.
Another one with a huge weight drop. Just look at the weights this horse has been carrying all the way through. So, yeah, look, he's got I would have liked to have seen him drawn a better barrier though. He would have been a real little sneaky chance with the right run.
Yeah, just a really tricky draw, that barrier. He's going to need a lot of luck from that gate. If he gets the luck, he'll run well with a nice light weight on his back, but he's going to need a lot of luck.
Bandersnatch, last week's winner. Taylor Marshall riding for Team Hawks.
Well, arguably the best firmer since this morning. $26, I think he was in preview. He's into a $14 or $15 now. He was dominant winning last week, so a recent backup horses on wet tracks. I've always said it. Maps well. Look, he gets the right run. He's adaptable and rarely runs bad.
Yeah, I thought he was super when he won at Roseville last time out. I was just checking out Taylor Marsh's saddle compared to the other runners that we got with the light weights on their back. I think it's about a 4-pound saddle with 51 kilos.
Golden Mile, Zach Lloyd, James Cummings.
Well, he looked an ideal type for this race in the spring. Everyone was talking him up. He was favourite for so long. Just hasn't gone right up on with the job this preparation, but how can you doubt this this stable when in the big events. So this has been a target for him for a long while.
Yeah, it's been a target. I was like you, Ronnie. When he come back this time, first run in the Expressway, I thought, this horse is back. But his runs since then have been quite disappointing, I think. He's just been very lacklustre. He's drawn a nice enough gate. He'll get a nice enough run, but he needs to lift on his previous form.
Mustang Valley, Andrew Forsman, Robbie Dolan.
Along with Lion's Roar, she is the best. They're the two best real long shots in this race. Now, only because of the wet track factor. She's a great heavy tracker, No weight on her back. You go back and look at that Guy Walter run. It was a pearler. She should have won that race. And she was $81 this morning when the rain comes. That was silly. She'll run well.
Yeah, I think she'll run well also. She's drawn to get a really easy time of it. I didn't have a lot of luck last time out. Probably should have finished a lot closer than what she did. So, yeah, she gets a great run in transit.
Hope in your heart, Jay Ford, Kerry Parker.
Oh, she is just so well named because that's what she is. She's just all heart. Never disappoints, and she won't again here.
Yeah, and she's a normal self walking around the enclosure too here today. She's revved up. She's been towing the strapper around. So I was just speaking to Jay Ford. Drawn a little bit tricky. He's going to need a bit of luck from the gate, but she's in a normal manners.
3-year-old fillies who gotcha, McAvoy and Waller.
Well, they say you need a champion filly to win a Doncaster. I'm not so sure this year. She's a classy filly, turn of speed. You can put her anywhere you want. The timing's for perfect, acceptable draw. Last time she was on a heavy track, she put a gap in them in the flight stakes. Yes for me.
Yeah, I think it ticks all the boxes as well. Even though she's drawn out a little bit, she's going to end up with a perfect run in transit. Loved her last start. And like you said, Ronnie, the wet weather form that she's got is terrific.
17 protagonist, Ben Thompson riding for William Haggis, who trains at Newmarket in England.
Well, his form is franked from the sky high through Zarek. He looked to have improvement to come. I like the way he came out of the barrier and raced in the box seat. I think he's going to be very powerful late here. Look, when you pull out his form, you say, well, they're saying they want wet tracks with him, and most of his wins have been on the dry. But I'll trust their judgment, saying that he wants a wet track, and I think he's top pick.
Yeah, ultra impressive in the sky high. Looks like he gets the ideal run. 50 kilos, I think that's the biggest plus here today.
4 to go. Cepheus number 18, Dean Yennell and Matt Dunn.
Surprisingly showed terrific gate speed winning the Ajax, so winning third up. So fourth up off a win, but this is a tougher race.
Yeah, much tougher race. I do like the lightweight. Drawn okay, should get a nice enough run.
Communist, Tyler Schiller and Michael Friedman.
Lightly weighted, underrated 3-year-old going well. Needs a cool Schiller ride from that draw.
Yeah, I think this horse can run a race today with no weight on his back. He's drawn a little bit awkward. He's going to need a lot of luck from the gate, but given he gets the luck, this horse will really be working home late.
Lindemann, Dean Holland, Chris Waller.
Love this horse. How much work does he have to do here? And his 2 heavy track runs are questionable.
He's going to need something to drag him in from about the 600 home. If he gets that, he'll run well.
And 21, Osipenko, the first emergency, getting a run. Michael D, Chris Waller.
Did he want the rain is the question. He in the Caulfield Guineas Prelude, he was in the market and didn't do anything. So I like him at a mile today, and he's set for a peak performance.
Corey, it was mayhem in the yard. There were horses everywhere. I mean, honestly, they all looked great, didn't they?
They did. And I ended up settling on number 8, Duke Decessa. More so hoping for young Dylan Gibbons. He's been placing in these Group 1 races. It's got a nice light weight. It's going to end up with a great running transit. It's got terrific overseas form and goes on the wet. So, like I said, it's more of a hope for him.
Well, I'm with Protagonist. I had him on top first up. Loved him again in the yard again today. He had dapples upon dapples. So I'm going to go with Protagonist.
I'm with him as well. 17, 16, 7 and 10. This is a typical Doncaster mile. Exciting race. I'm with Protagonist here. Just got me in with his first up win in Australia. They said he's got improvement to come, and if he has, look out. I think the danger is 16, Zugotcha, the filly. I think she's got most bases covered here with a light weight and a turn of speed and liking it wet and positioning himself somewhere within 4 or 5 lengths of them. 7, Converge. Just hoping he can get a grip in this on the real heavy track. He's got patchy wet form, and I'm throwing in number 10 here, Lion's Roar, at any old price. Just with that second up form, wet track ability, and his strength will come to the fore. Look, I could make a little case from Mustang Valley here, and geez, it's a good go. Duke DeCessa here, 17, 16, 7 and 10, Glenn.
Yeah, well, this is a Donny for the ages. Only 2 runners in single figures, and it's $6 the field. Mr. Brightside out to his best now. The best price he's been all week at $6. Zugotcha, the only other runner in single figures, as much as $10 this morning, now an $8.50 chance. Fangirl, she was as short as $8 this morning. She's out to 11. Duke DeCessa, as much as 23, in fact, $23, now a $12 chance. Protagonist, $8.50 out to $12. Bandersnatch, a high of $26 this morning, is now 14. Alligator Blood the other way, as short as $9.50 is now 15. Osipenko, 14 to 16. Communist, 23 the best, now 18. Converge drifting, 13 to 19. Mustang Valley, $81 into $19 today. Golden Mile at 23, Nugget 26, Hope in Your Heart 31. Lion's Roar, 81 into 31 and $34 and longer the rest. $6.50 now the field, the Donny. Greg?
We've got more than half a dozen out. Ali, last word behind the gates.
I just want to make comment on Nugget because he's acting similarly to he was the day I saw him at Kembla Grange. He's just sort of shooting sideways and running backwards and just being a little bit difficult at the moment. Hope in Your Heart's feeling very well, obviously. She's gone back to the pony because she was just getting a little bit above herself too. Protagonist cantered past me and I could see that he was loving the conditions. He had his ears pricked. He's come on beautifully. He looks like he didn't even come over from Europe the way that he's turned out here. And Duke DeCessa, I guess, is the other one that people would love to know about for the fact that he's an entire. He's doing everything right here.
There aren't many better sights here at Randwick than 20 in a Doncaster at the famous mile start. We've only got a couple out. I think 3 are out of line. Up comes Nugget and Gentleman Roy. They're all set. Let's go up to Darren Flindell for the Star Doncaster, worth $4 million.
So we're just about ready for the Star Doncaster Mile. Last year's winner is the favourite, and we're ready to go. Set now. Gates are back, and they're off and racing, and Bandersnatch and Gentleman Roy have jumped well. Gentleman Roy is going to take the lead. Alligator Blood sent forward with Bandersnatch. Mr. Brightside handy on the rails, followed by Converge. Now deep out, Lindemann trying to improve and does so. Zugotcha's going with him. They're followed further back than to Cepheus from Golden Mile. Osipenko's buried down on the inside as they go up into the first turn. Now in the second half of the field, we've got Mustang Valley down on the rails. Deeper out, Protagonist from Duke DeCessa. My Oberon from Fangirl. Nuggets back near third last, followed by Lion's Roar and Hope in Your Heart is the last one. Lindemann leads up the Doncaster field, and the lone filly Zugotcha got to second. Then came Gentleman Roy from Alligator Blood. Cepheus off the track going forward. On the outside of Bandersnatch. Then came Mr. Brightside. Down on the inside from Golden Mile. Communist out deep going global. The American mare between them. Further back to Osipenko. Then came Converge from Duke DeCessa, starting a run out the 600 metres. Further back to Nugget from My Oberon. Fangirl all cluttered up. Mustang Valley the rails. Deeper out Lion's Roar and Hope in Your Heart. Lindemann spins the corner in front of the Donny. It's Lindemann just in front from the filly Zugotcha. Gentleman Roy. Mr. Brightside cruising up on the inside. Coming down the outside is Nugget with a great run. Zugotcha in front from Nugget the outside, and Mr. Brightside is really starting to lengthen now. Mr. Brightside moved up to join Nugget. Then came Osipenko, Mustang Valley, and My Oberon bursting through. Mr. Brightside in front from My Oberon. Mr. Brightside lifting and goes back to back. Mr. Brightside held on from My Oberon to win the Doncaster again. Nuggets finished in third. Then Osipenko, Mustang Valley, Hope in Your Heart. Further back to Communist, Zugotcha. Fangirl with some headway late from Gentleman Roy, Going Global, Protagonist, Lindemann, Bandersnatch, Alligator Blood, Lion's Roar, Golden Mile, Cepheus and Converge.
The Hayes boys came back to do it all again. This time with Zach Purton in the saddle. Purton wins his third Doncaster. Mr. Brightside becomes the first horse to go back-to-back since Sacred Falls. Coincidentally, Sacred Falls was ridden in one of those Doncasters by Purton himself. My Oberon, the race of his life, and Nugget was is going to give there for a few strides. Andrew Gibbons, his first Group 1.
What a training performance by these two young men, Ben and JD Hayes, two Doncasters in a row. Their family be so proud of him. What fight he showed too. He's a ripper horse. 1, 2, 3 out of the All-Star Mile again this year. Again, so that's been like a little Doncaster prelude leading into this, and he's got the absolute dream run through, Zach, and gets the job done. My Oberon was gallant in defeat. He obviously loves it wet, that horse, and he looked the winner for a few strides there. Nugget and Mustang Valley charging along the inside there late.
Yes, and Hope in Your Heart is going to get fourth, just outside the place getters. 2, 4, 11, 15, 138, 76, 36, 6. Mr. Brightside wins his second Doncaster.